ahead and read it.
Biologists have noted reproductive abnormalities in fish that are immediately downstream of paper mills. One possible cause is dioxin, which paper mills release daily, and which can alter the concentration of hormones in fish. However, dioxin is unlikely to be the cause, since the fish recover normal hormone concentrations relatively quickly during occasional mill shutdowns, and dioxin decomposes very slowly in the environment.
All right, so this is one of my favorite stimuluses ever. I remembered studying this one when I took the actual test because it's so I just think it's a really funny argument. So we're saying biologists have noted reproductive abnormalities in fish that are immediately downstream of paper mills. Okay, so what does that mean? It's saying that the fish that are immediately downstream, I don't know what immediately downstream means. Like, I feel like that's kind of subjective because immediately, like right at the bottom, how far is that? I don't know. But immediately downstream from these paper mills, we notice that we have these fish that have reproductive abnormalities. And then we go on to say that one possible cause of fish having these abnormalities is dioxin, which these paper mills release daily and which can alter the concentration of the hormones in fish. I'm like, all right, so far this kind of makes sense to me. However, dioxin is unlikely to be the cause. So we're saying it's not probably the cause since, so we're going to introduce a premise here, since the fish recover normal hormone concentrations relatively quickly during occasional mill shutdowns and decomposes very slowly into the environment. So we're saying, hey, it's unlikely that these fish, that dioxin is causing these abnormalities because they recover their hormone concentration levels quickly and dioxin goes into the environment slowly. So, it's definitely not the dioxin causing these. So obviously our conclusion is dioxin is unlikely to be the cause. All right, what kind of question is this, Mel?
This is a weekend question.
Weekend, yes. So we want to first predict an answer. So we're trying to weaken our conclusion. So we're trying to weaken the idea that dioxin is unlikely to be the cause. So what is our goal of our answer? We're trying to show what?
That is unlikely. That is, yeah.
Not unlikely that it's
less likely to be
more likely, right? Like
more than likely, yeah, to be.
Yeah, we're trying to say that dioxin.
I didn't mean to say
right. I know. I love weakening questions when like uns are involved or rejecting something. So we're trying to pick an answer choice that makes it more likely to be true that dioxin is likely to be the cause, right?
Yeah, I kind of made a prediction though already.
Yes. So next step. So we have what we're trying to do. Now we make a prediction. So both of you take 20 seconds. Think of your prediction.
Well, I was gonna also say, like, could it be related to, like, the last sentence, like maybe the decomposition?
Yes. Okay. So tell us that. Why? Okay. So tell me your prediction, Zach. What's your prediction? You related to the last sentence? How?
It's unlikely to be the cause. It could because it's saying like why it's unlikely to be the cause, but then you have to awaken why it could be the cause, and then have maybe the contrapositive of the idea that's in the last sentence. So maybe it's something that like just because it decomposes very slowly can still have an immediate impact.
Yeah, something that decomposes slowly into the environment
could still have a long-term effect.
Can still be, well, it also can still be the cause of these reproductive abnormalities, because maybe like decomposes very, like maybe it's not that it's decomposing isn't how it gets or affects the fish. Maybe it's like just like, I don't know, decomposes, like maybe it's just like the presence of it or the smell of it or the look of it. I don't know. Like, what was your prediction, Mel?
I was just gonna say like the opposite of very slowly decomposing slowly. It decomposes very quick, because if it goes quick, then it means it's going to be, the dioxin is probably likely to be the cause if it's like decomposing quick.
However, typically on the LSAT, we accept all premises as true. Mm-hmm. So let's say that.
Well, it's true, but I'm saying if I was to weaken it though, if I was to weaken it, I'm weakening the premise. So to weaken it.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right. I don't know if we do that. I don't know if that happens all the time. Maybe it does happen in this answer and I'm like be looking crazy. Maybe
I was just
maybe like it's decomposing very slowly in the environment. It's still fast enough to have an impact.
right. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's still
That's okay.
fast to have an
Yeah,
an
like
impact.
very slowly compared to what?
Yeah, I think like it's still faster enough to like have an impact, like towards like to like speed, like in a sense, like it's still faster to have an impact that the dioxin is likely to be the cause.
Right. So my prediction was, why do you think that these fish are recovering? If it's the cause.
Are you asking?
Yeah.
Are you asking?
Yep.
Oh, what I think the fish is recovering if it is the cause?
Mhm.
Um,
I think that's the strongest thing that this argument
right.
is going for is that, well, yeah, but these fish get better, so clearly this can't be the cause.
Right.
How I would destroy this argument is by showing the reason why they recover. How can this be the cause and fish still recover quickly? Like,
Right.
why isn't it a constant problem? I think if we do
Right.
that, we blow this out of the water. All right, so A. Oh, last weekend question. Do we want a strong or more mild answer?
We want a strong. 'Cause this
Strong. We
bottom
want to
up.
destroy that conclusion.
Right. It's bottom up. Mhm.
Yep. Okay. So A, some already don't love it because some means at least one. So at least one of the studies that show that fish recover quickly during shutdowns were funded by paper manufacturers.
It doesn't weaken it to me.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have,
I would
It's
say
kind of like beyond the scope.
Yeah.
likely. We're trying to say that it's like, well, I guess they're trying to say that it's likely because the studies that show that fish recover quickly were funded by the okay, just because I think they're trying to say, well, it's a biased thing showing that the fish recovered. But just because they're biased doesn't mean that the fish didn't recover. Maybe they truly did. And I don't like the word some.
Yep.
So I would probably cross this one off. If people want to leave it open, I'm not mad, but I would really pay attention to that word some.
I love B.
B, the rate at which dioxin decomposes varies depending onto the conditions to which it is exposed.
No, too mild.
No, it's just that we don't. For me, I didn't like B because vary doesn't necessarily weaken it. It's just say it varies. Like it does. It's not telling me what it does.
What does varies mean? Like maybe it varies like this much.
Should be in the good
Right.
sense of varies though.
Yeah, it could vary this much. I don't know what
We
this
don't
much
know.
is, or it could vary
Right.
this much. We don't know. And the other thing is,
We don't-
what conditions are we talking about?
Right. Beyond the scope.
Like what condition? I don't even know what conditions matter.
All right.
Okay, C, normal river currents carry the dioxin present in the river far downstream in a few hours.
Does that mean rapidly though? So
Yeah, that's my prediction. I think that's one of my predictions I made. Because it's going kind of quicker. Because this moves quicker, then it's likely to be the cause.
Yes, it moves down. Yeah, it's saying like once it goes through, it's just moved on. So it causes the damage. And this also shows, why do the fish recover? The fish recover because it's no longer present.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that it doesn't damage it immediately. I actually, when I first did this question, left this one open because I didn't take the time to think about it, but I didn't know why it was wrong. So I just moved on, because one of my strategies is, before I waste a lot of time thinking about an answer choice, I eliminate stuff first. So D, some. So I don't like some. At least one of the fish did not recover rapidly from the physiological changes that were introduced by the change. Like, this doesn't matter. Just because one fish didn't change back, that doesn't help us prove that the dioxin is the cause.
Right.
Even if it didn't change back, there still could be something else that's causing it. So it's not D. And then E, the connection between hormone concentrations and reproductive abnormalities is not. Does it matter if we understand it or not?
No, because thoroughly understood could mean some could be understood, some can't be understood. So that's mild.
Yeah, we don't. Was not. Yeah, it could. We could still understand it 90%.
I think I mess up on these because I get too critical and I just like second guess myself.
I mean, that's where predictions really help, from second guessing yourself.
Like change my predictions mid question. I feel like too sometimes to be like, this kind of sounds good. So how far off should your prediction be? Like what's like too far off?
I mean, predictions can still be helpful and be completely far off.
Mhm, mhm.
It's just helping you expose the hole. Like, this is not at all what I predicted, but it still fits the hole I exposed. Why? What answer choice did you say for this one, Mel? Did you say?
I think I said E or D, one of them. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, putting them back to A, where A is going to be wrong, is because one, sum is just too weak of an answer choice. And just because there's a potential of that study of being biased, that doesn't mean the study actually is biased. So it could go either way. So it doesn't
Right.
in it.
Yeah. I think I crossed it out immediately because I read it. It kind of was like it was kind of beyond the scope to me, like with the sum and the paper funded by the funded by the paper manufacturers. I'd be saying to myself,
Actually,
like, and so,
sorry, I
like,
just
so
had another
what?
point. No, actually, you just brought up another great point. It's some of the studies. Okay, just because showing the fish recover quickly
Mhm.
still doesn't mean that the dioxin is not the cause of the damage in the first place.
Right.
Even if the study was biased and the fish don't recover quickly, it doesn't matter because it could still be the dioxin could still be the cause. So
Right.
A is you're absolutely right about it being out of scope.